John in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hey, John, what's on your mind today?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, also there isn't monolithic support for Netanyahu within the state of Israel.
Hang on just a second. You're saying this in the context of Netanyahu's opposition to this deal between Iran and the P5+1, right?
Right.
Okay.
And, I think he's just a big saber rattler, and I think that the military-industrial complex gives him a lot of perks, and the people on our side in this country, they like to use him, and I think he plays into the fears of Israelis, because they're surrounded by hostile elements, but he is really far right, and there are political parties in Israel that are just as much in opposition to him as maybe even the Palestinians are. So I think he gains a lot from being involved in the military-industrial complex, and maybe he even gets some kickbacks and money from it, because that's what they're all about. People like Cheney, these people that are pushing this.
I think that's a lot.
I don't reaction or running our foreign policy in that way, because we build more nuclear bombs, we build more. We spend more money on armaments, and they make a lot of money. But the world suffers because.
Well, we know that was the case with Dick Cheney. He came into office. Halliburton was nearly bankrupt in 2000. In 2000, because he had acquired Dresser Industries, which had this huge liability, asbestos liability, and he was betting that the government was going to take that liability off their back, and it didn't.
Right.
And so when he came into office, he had all this stock in Halliburton, which was pretty much worthless. And all of a sudden, Halliburton gets all these no-bid contracts and becomes one of the biggest corporations in the world. I don't know that that's the case with Netanyahu. I don't, and I think that speculating about his personal motives is probably not a wise thing. I think, though, that politically, Netanyahu has built a career out of saber rattling, and the fact of the matter is, he's never gotten a majority in any election. He has to form a government with a whole bunch of smaller parties, because he only gets 30-40% of the vote, and although that's more than anybody else got. And you're right. Read Haaretz, the kind of left-wing newspaper, as opposed to the Jerusalem Post, the right-wing newspaper. They're both online. You can read them both, and you'll get very different opinions. And there's a spirited debate in Israel about everything from what should be done about the West Banks to the Gaza to the settlements, to Palestinians as Israeli citizens, it just goes on and on and on. And I'm sure that there's a spirited debate in Israel about Iran, and there's a lot less, oddly enough, a lot less demagoguery around these issues. At least my read of it, and having spent a fair amount of time in Israel in my life, a lot less demagoguery there than there is here, and I think that's because it's a small country. Everybody knows each other. The media is pretty straightforward. And whereas here, if somebody just comes in with a couple $100 million and buys a whole bunch of TV advertising, you can just flip public opinion in any crazy way you want. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, John. Thanks a lot for the call. Great to hear from you.